Here we are, Memorial Coliseum, Fort Wayne, Indiana. The big one tonight, Game 3. The series tied a game apiece. It's going to be a rumble for sure, and the jungle is already warming up for it. So is Al Sims, the Comet coach.
So we've got Saturday night. Best 3 out of 5 series starts with quarterfinals for the Turner Cup between the Kays and Kalamazoo. We've seen a lot of different hockey games in the first 2 we played.
Yeah, it's true, Bob. Kalamazoo came out flying at our place here. We came back and beat them, and last night, we just couldn't score on quality chances in the first period. We had 18 shots, and Larry Dick came up empty, and he was really the difference in the hockey game. I think if we get ahead of them, it's a different hockey game, but unfortunately it went to 2, 3, 4, and 5 goals, and we didn't get much in the way of goaltending the last 2 periods, and it really cost us. And, when one team gets great goaltending, the other team gets mediocre. That's usually the outcome of the score. We outshot them, had probably as many scoring chances as them, but on the scoreboard it looked pretty lopsided.
What's your starting lineup, or what do your lineups look like tonight? Any changes of base?
Well, Richardson's got a dislocated thumb, unfortunately. He's been playing real well, and he'll be out for a week to 10 days probably, so he may miss the rest of this series, but Bob Jones in the lineup tonight in defense. He's a physical player and should help us there.
So there's our story with Al Sims as we get set and ready to go for International Hockey League action tonight between the Komets and the Kalamazoo Wings. Game 3 quarterfinal series, and let's see how it's going to boil. Oh, the crowd's ready, I'll tell you, and the players seem to be about set up. All the Kalamazoo Wings around their goaltender. Down at the far end of the rink, down to my left, of course, that goaltender is going to be Larry Dick tonight. The Komets, meanwhile, have Pokey as their player's choice, and it's going to be a dandy, and we'll have to wait and see how it's going to go. At the line, Gruel and Jansen working each other over. Komets have it, turned up the near side. Out it comes. Chinner can't get to the puck, but Scottie Gruel's got it back. Out to center, good lead pass to Hankinson. Hankinson on his way.
Gruel getting the penalty right now, is behind the play. And it looked like Jansen come charging at him. Scottie got the stick up, and I believe he's going to get himself a cross-checking penalty, but Jansen took a real run at him. Scottie protected himself, catching him pretty good with his stick. Gruel go in the penalty box. It looks like 2 minutes for cross-checking.
3:16. Gruel picks up the call. And one thing these guys don't realize, if they haven't been around this league for a while, don't run Scottie Gruel. You better like the club sandwiches.
Well, at this point, as you mentioned, they had tangled before, and Jansen, he took a real run at Gruel, and I don't know, it looks like Gruel might... They're given Scottie a 5-minute cross-checking penalty, and if that carries automatic game misconduct, he's gone for the night. Bad break, bad call by the referee there.
So here we are. Face-off now back outside the Wings line, or is it inside the Wings line?
Well, if he hadn't run at Gruel, I would have said, well, that's fine, but he took a real good run at Scottie. Scottie protected himself, brought the stick up, I agree, brought it up pretty high and caught him. But again, to give him a 5-minute penalty in a game, I don't know, it's too early in the game to do that, and a big player like that thrown out of the game, that hurts the Komets big time.
So now it's Chin on the face-off against Goddess just outside the Wings blue line. 5-minute major penalty called to Scottie Gruel, and have it. John Mark Richard by 1 man. Look at Cox taking his man right off the play. Look at John Mark around the front. Oh! And missing it in front of the net, Hankinson. He had it, too. Hankinson had it. Across it goes as Chin checked off the puck. 2 good scoring chances. Now the Komets will try for it. Lusick running his man off the play. Here they come again. Hankinson to Chin. Chinner looks and fires. Save. Dick hanging on. Komets short-handed, get more offense right now than the Wings. Came all the way right side to Kip Miller. Front of the net, shot, save. Another shot, another save. Komets have it back. Komets have it back. On the front of the net, turned around the far board. And now Shaughnessy's doing a little hit, and here's Miller out at the top to the left point. Ciccone down to the left boards, back out Ciccone on top. Front of the net. Here's a rebound. Nicely poked away in front by Shaughnessy. Can't play it. Picked up by Robinson. Robinson left boards. Up he goes. Can't get the play. Checked off to the front of the net. Knocked down by the Komets. Here they come. 3 men up again. Now it's going to be Hurd, who dumps it back inside the wing zone. Played back into the corner by Straub. Straub nailed by Kocher. That's all the way to center ice. Komets get their change through in time. Stewart going into the zone. Run off the play. Behind the net. It is all the way down length of the rink again. Shaughnessy clears. Now they change penalty killers one more time. Wings start back up. Here is Miller. Chased off the play. Komets get it back. It is Davidson, a drive and a save. Chin with a rebound. Chinner on the near board. Still had it. Now lost it. Wings start back up ice. Still 2 minutes left in the penalty. 1:45 left to go in the 5-minute power play. Offside on the call. He was way offside on the call. And they never called it. Here they come to the front of the net. Scramble on the corner. In goes Lucic behind the goal to play it. All the way to the far board. Still can't get a shot away. Everybody holding their man. Now pulled off the play. Hankinson fires the length of the rink. Penalty call against Kalamazoo.
Interference. Oh, roughing. It's going to be roughing.
Roughing is the call. Here is... Oh, Richard had him all the way out of his shorts.
Penalty coming up.
Another penalty coming up. Here we come.
Here we are.
Komets, another great save on the play. As they... Oh, and another cheap shot in the corner.
Ciccone, got the first penalty. He's drawn that, and then all of a sudden he brought the stick up and nailed him again. So we'll see what this draws. Ciccone going directly to the penalty box. The referee saw it off, so we'll have to see if he gives him a double minor or if there was blood drawn. We may see a major again.
He went right back at him after the penalty was called. And that was a super cheap shot from start to finish, and Boudreau's now having conversation with the referee.
Well, I believe it was a Bobby J. Is it down, or Jones?
Where?
Jones. Bobby Jones behind the net. Is that who's down?
No, that's Jean-Marc Richard. Richard was down in, and he was stretched out, and Ciccone just suckered him and dropped him right in his tracks.
Referee's explaining something to Al Sims, so we'll have to see what happens. He looked like he was explaining that when Ciccone was trying to pull away, his stick caught Jean-Marc Richard in the face when John was down, and that's why there's no major penalty. But he's down there looking for blood, and
there's plenty of it on the ice, I'll tell you. I got a feeling it can't get ugly at 0-0. They've got to hold their cool. They claim this is their top trainee in the National Hockey League, according to Sam Cisco, and he's in big trouble right now, and he's only halfway through the first period. As Ciccone gets 2 minutes, and Jean-Marc Richard is now in the dressing room, blood kicked away from down below, and it's a point where some people, almost regardless of how it may have been called at this point in time, and that time some fan nailed the referee with a paper cup and made it stick, eh? That time Davidson gave his man the money. Look at the butt end going.
Both of them going to go, Reynolds and Davidson.
Reynolds was butt-ending Davidson, and David wiped him off. So
coming up.
The penalty's calling against Richard, I believe.
Keep him out of there. We don't need Richard involved in smacking. He's upset a little bit. Kalamazoo player getting the penalty for high sticking, I believe. Caught Richard on the side of the face, and he's a little upset.
13:43 at the time.
So we may see both players. Richard's going to go, and Kalamazoo players.
Robinson and Richard.
Richard just lost a little bit there because I believe the penalty was originally called to Kalamazoo. Both players going in the penalty box at 6:17. Both teams will nullify the power play.
So, let's see. I imagine Robinson with a high stick. And a slash there, so the party is still going full swing. Feeds it up the near boards and gets on by one man, but picked off on the... Oh, and chopped right in the side of the face. Ciccone nails Boudreau on the play. Now they come back to center. Boudreau, he's tripped on the play at the line. They don't call that one either.
Right in front of the referee, was hooked down just like a fishing line and knocked by it.
And Boudreau puts a stick in Ciccone's face. I don't know what this referee's thinking, Robbie, but I don't care what his credentials are right now. This guy's just doing a lousy job for either side.
Right now, there's been a lot of minor penalties called, there have been pretty obvious penalties, but there's been a few more that he could have called very quickly.
Right there, he should have called at least one or two. Yeah.
Should have been one call on Boudreau, and if Kalamazoo's going to swing those sticks and catch the Komets in the facial area, We should be calling a lot more, otherwise this thing's going to break out crazy.
Round the boards he comes. After it now on the far boards, it's McRae. Fletcher got a shot away, couldn't make it. Here they come up the middle. A drive wide again as breaking into the hole was. Look at him go after Shaughnessy in the corner.
Shaughnessy and Cox going at it.
And Cox is on the bottom. Shags had enough of him and just unloaded on him. Down at the point. He fires. Cutting across the zone with Smith. Can't play it. Turned in again by Lusick. Deep in the zone. Chaconian tying it up. Picked up by Davidson. Here's Davidson around behind the net.
Score!
Score! Komets Davidson!
Not a power play goal. The Komets just kept the pressure on. Kalamazoo couldn't get a line change. Komets kept picking up the loose puck. They kept moving it in and out of the corners. Finally, Davidson got possession. He skated around the net, and he just made the turn around the net, tucked it between Dick's legs. Komets jump out in front, 1-0 at the 6:23 mark. First goal of the night, Komets ahead, 1-0.
Robbie, I'm glad that happened. They worked so hard, something had to happen. Davidson's first goal of the playoffs. Now it's going to be Flicko deep in the corner after it. Smith and Hankinson. Smith and Hankinson, a lot of help on that one, and they were working hard. Up the zone he comes as Hurd hooking hard. It comes into the line. Deep it goes, left side up the slot. It is no play as Messier wide open. Great save. Pokey Reddick hangs on. He was out of his net 15 feet to cut off Paul Gerard to make the big save. That's the kind of saves Pokey's got to make. At the center ice. All the way to the net. Pokey Reddick's got it there. Back up the near boards. They're going to keep it in the zone. Robinson to the front of the net. All the way left side. Look out. Shot. Save. Pokey's got it.
Well, we've seen Kalamazoo do this again. When they want to put the pressure on, they pump it up a little bit. They stand up on the blue line and they intercept some passes. They've done that. A couple of bad passes by the Komet defense, and then Pokey made a bad play where they've got intercepted. They cleared it to the open man, and Pokey come up big again. 14-42, and Pokey's come up with two big saves here in the second period to keep the score at 1-0 Komets.
All the way to the point. From the point, a drive, and Reddick was ready for that one. Now it's going to be Chris McRae, but out it comes again. Tipped high on the net. Reddick is there and hangs on. But I'll tell you who's in the hockey game right now, Pokey. One more time, Miller. Now one man picked off completely. Here's the drive. Reddick's got that one, too. Now wheels it up the near boards, but it's in front of the net. Hang it on! Reddick again's got it. They spin him off the play. That's his man off the puck. Komets with a 2-on-1. Lead pass goes to Boudreau. Boudreau's got Smith with him on the play. He's out front. He fires. Rebound. In front of the goal. Turn back out. Shaughnessy. A drive. Front of the net. Knocked down one more time. Lusick fires. And it's a save on the play by Dick. Farboard. Shaughnessy goes in. Drives his man off the play. Komets have it again. Front of the net. Knocked down by the wings. Turn back to the Fort Wayne zone. Back it goes into the Fort Wayne corner. Back to make the play will be Lusick. And off behind the net, the icing is called. Unbelievable action, and Komets could not get control of the puck to get the goal when they needed it, but listen to these fans. Woo! 8:15 left, your period 2, 1-0 Komets on WoWo Komet Hockey. He comes, he's hooked off the play. What'd I tell you? Never fails. Break coming into the zone, and a draw. What a save on that one, Reddick.
Breakaway again. Pokey got it. Broke in, saw Pokey come out with a stick, and he tried to flip it up over top of Pokey, threw the pads out, smothered the puck, and again the Komets dodged a bullet there. A little sloppy passing coming up out of their zone. Kalamazoo intercepting the pass and getting an opportunity on the power play.
You got a case where the defenseman monkeyed around so long, his passing alleys were all gone. He tried to stick handle his way out, and all they do is hook you down. They knocked him right off the puck and walked in. The second man headed in. He has it knocked down. Throw, breakaway. Here we come. On the move. Kip Miller coming to the Fort Wayne line. And he goes on Reddick. Oh, and he goes, save Pokey. And Kosher nails his man. Look out, another man in front of the net. Knocked down. Komets have it. Let's go. Back up ice they go. Bruce Boudreau leads the rush. Into the zone goes Bruce, looking around, trying to find his man. Crossway, here comes. To the front. Oh, bad pass again. Boudreau's got it back. Can't play it. Wings, 1-on-1. Back out they come. 2-on-1 now. As Miller's got help. He goes to the zone, wide. Another good defensive move. Reichel to the front of the net. Back come the Komets one more time. Boudreau in the zone, starting back up ice for Fort Wayne. At neutral ice, now goes to the line. He goes across the zone, drops it to Steve Fletcher. Fletcher on the corner, pumps it off behind the net slightly. Turned there by Gerard. Gerard coming up the near boards, Wings coming back up ice. Fletcher digging in hard all the way to the corner. In front of the net, they cannot get the play. Oh, what a shot that time. As Flickel in tying his man up deep in the corner, and boy, if you want end-to-end action, we are flying back and forth.
Well, we don't want any more power plays. Pokey had to come up with 2 clean-cut breakaways against them. One, he made a great pad save, and that one they tried to deke him. He was able to throw the pad across, make the save. Komets still have the 1-0 lead, 4:54 to go here in the second period.
Now in goes Flickel, nicely drives his man deep into the boards. As Lee Davidson now trying to go in, pile up his man, got a man out front. Look out, a shot and a save and a rebound. Where'd it go? Reddick's got it. Hey, there's still no goal. Pokey smothers that one. All right, hang on. We are ready to go for period number 3, and the Komets down doing their ritual in front of Pokey Reddick. They ought to do some tape of this and play it back as a highlight, because everybody's got his little thing that he does, and sometimes you wonder if that distracts the goaltender almost. And the last guy by every time is Fletch, who gives a super big, gigantic one-hand whop right across the pads. Then it's official. We can drop the puck. Things going into the forward zone. They got Cox to the goal mouth, but the puck hit him right in the back of the skate. Out front, Pokey slams the door. Another one, Pokey slams the door on that one. Deep in the corner, Lusick is there. Here's Lusick. Oh, gave it away. As up the front of the net, it is Messier. Komets getting very sloppy in their own end, trying to run after something that isn't there. Now it is Lusick driving his man deep into the corner. Chin in trying to dig it out. Messier taking Chin off the play up the middle. Look out. They walk in, fire, save, Reddick.
Another big save by Pokey, coming back strong after
they come to center ice. Coming to the line now is going to be Kip Miller. Miller can't play. Loose man is going to be Cox. He's got another man in front of the net. Great save, Pokey Reddick. As Jones stuffs somebody in the net. Now we're tied at 1 goal apiece. And the jungle now is going to start to roar.
Well, that could be the difference, of course. The crowd get into this game and perk the Komets up a little bit. That might be the edge they need, and they're starting to feel it right now and starting to wave those signs and get into the game, and here we go.
As Robinson and Fletcher making a little contact there. Wings starting back up ice once more. Here they come into the zone as it's going to be Reichel trying to come to the front of the net. Yay! What a save, Reddick! On a wide-open shot to the corner. And Pokey Reddick to the rescue. That one could have been dynamite as Reddick had to poke it away from a wing player within 5 feet of the goal mouth, and he cleared it out to the corner. Oh, Lee Davidson back in the face-off circle this time, and let's see who he's going to face off against. Steve Gaudis. Komets with Davidson, Hankinson, and the other winger now is going to be Kelly Hurd. Ready, set. On the draw, it is Davidson trying to move it into the corner behind the net, picked up by the Komets' Kerry Lusick. Lusick coming out the wing now to Peter Hankinson. Here's Peter starting out of the zone. All the way cross rink. Kelly Hurd bounced off his glove and he couldn't handle it. Now at the zone, Komets have it back. Here they come over the line. Lusick now into the zone, picked up deep in the corner by Davidson. And Davidson now up to Hankinson.
Here we are.
Oh, it's a score, Komets!
Knocked it out of the air. Great play at the blue line. Lusick tipping it in, and Hankinson going to the corner. And all of a sudden, Kelly Hurd broke for the net. Hankinson flipped the puck about 2 feet in the air towards the goal crease, and Hurd knocked it right out of the air in the goal. 17:39 to go, and the Komets got themselves a 2-1 lead, and listen to the crowd.
You know, it's a funny thing. My mind was made up. I was going to say something about Kelly Hurd was destined to do something because he has been playing so well here tonight, and he's the kind of a guy that can break up a hockey game. I didn't say it, but he did it. Hurd's the goal. 2-1 Komets, 7:39 left. This is period number 3, and the jungle is roaring again. Robinson having conversation with the referee. And this guy's name is Don Van Massenhoven. And here comes Shaughnessy. Off the glass. It's knocked down at the corner. Man up front. Look out. They couldn't get the pass. Picked up again. In the corner wide. Out front. Can't move it again. Another great defensive play. Back up come the Komets. Face-off in the Fort Wayne zone is going to be to the left. The Komet goaler, Pokey Reddick. And I mean, the entertainers are out tonight. The Union's going to come in here and make these guys sign a card.
Well, Elvis, right now, there's a long, long whistle, and they're going to play the whole song, and he's going at it. So.
Well, I'll tell you. When they say it's party time at a Komet hockey game, you better believe it.
I don't think he expected this one. It's been about 2 solid minutes, and he's tiring a little bit, but he keeps wiggling.
I remember years and years ago here when you dropped the puck and a hockey game would break out. Now it's circus. Now it's a circus, but the people love it. Face-off one more time. Chin goes in trying to tie his man up. Here's a screenshot. Reddick's got it again. Boy, I mean, Pokey is paying for his keep right here and now. That came through a host of bodies, and Reddick was down low and snapped it off. Well, Komets now with a 2-1 lead. There's a minute 15 seconds on the board, and no goaltender at the other end as out goes Dick. So he's out at 18:45. Dick is out of there.
Al going with the speed right now. He's got Hankinson out there, Hurd, and Chenner out there. So he wants a little speed so that he can break from the face-off, get on the shooter as soon as possible. Now Al's calling timeout. They're going to get the chalkboard out. They're going to know where they're going to go and what they're going to have to do.
That worked out well. Al was waiting for the matchup to see who he was going to send out there before he called the timeout. And once he spotted that, they were going to put their best out there, no doubt about it, which gives him the opportunity now, hopefully, to get enough strategy available to get them loose and get somebody out there. Open net, other end of the rink, 2-1 the score. Komets lead right now with a minute 15 left. I'll say to Kelly Hurd, stay wide right. They want to dump that puck to the neutral zone, and Hurd can motor. Comes Chin on a 3-2. Chinner at the line. He missed an open net. Come on. Here we come. Front of the net. That time they miss it again. Back in front of the net. Here we come again. Score!
Hurd, I believe.
So, wowee, and I mean on the edge all the way down the line. And Chin from center ice completely missed the net, and they were lucky to gain control of it in the zone and keep it at a spot where somebody could get to it. Davidson, and we're 3-1, 39 seconds left in the match, and Davidson out to face it off again, this time against Lennart. Davidson's got to be about 160 pounds if he's an out. He just gave Gerard about 15 verbs there, and Gerard was kind of figuring how to handle that one. 4, 3, 2, 1. It is waved off. It is over. Hockey game 1. Komets 3. Kalamazoo 1. We're back with a post-game show in a moment on Whoa Komet Hockey. So here we go as the Komets win a real nail-biter, I'll tell you. Another empty net goal made the difference. 3-1 this final score. And when you look at the Komets who played without a couple of the guns, and namely Scottie Gruel, who tonight was thrown out of the game just a matter of minutes into it, and they still came back and persevered and won it by a 3-1 count. A big match. Well, as old Harry would say, holy cow, that was a big one tonight, I'll tell you, as the Komets come up with a 3-1 victory. Open net, the final one. Kelly Hurd with 2 goals and Lee Davidson with the other. And the young guys took the lead tonight, and they had to pick up the slack. Scottie Gruel thrown out early, and of course the real goal scoring fire of Bobby Loxo missing for the rest of the year. Also Grant Richardson, who's been playing real hard-nosed D, he could be lost for the rest of this series. Whatever was left sucked it up and made it go, and even the role players, when they were there, really made the most of their opportunities, and their presence was felt every time. Al Sims put together a heck of a hockey game, and his players really stayed with the plan. Lead the series 2-1, and the action goes all the way back to Kalamazoo on Wednesday. If we can play like this in Kalamazoo, it's anybody's hockey game.
Well, if you saw Kalamazoo leave the ice after that their win by the Komets, they went down, their heads were down, they looked a little dejected. I think they figured this was the night that they were going to win. They won a big one last night. They came in here, threw everything they had at the Komets, stayed out of the penalty box as much as they could, and thought they had the game right where they wanted, leading going into the third period, and then, of course, tying it right away. they went out of here a little dejected. So if there's a chance the Komets can sneak one out of Kalamazoo, Wednesday night could be the night.